I can't believe that Portal 2 is going to be out in a few days, and I don't have any money at all. I mean, I would ask you if we could maybe like borrow some or something, but no, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna do that.
What? No, I'm playing a video game right now.
Hey there, folks. I'm Zach Hinchy.
And I'm Mark Henderson.
And we're the Geeks in the Bowl.
If you'd like to get in touch with us, be sure and send us an email at thegeekbowl@gmail.com. Check us out on Twitter at thegeekbowl. And you can also check out our brand new website, www.thegeekbowl.net.
And we also have a dedicated voicemail hotline for you to call in, and we might answer your stuff during the show. And that's 818-ASK-GEEK.
ASKGEEK. And speaking of voicemail, we got a few voicemails that we're going to ahead and talk about today. We've got, four-ish?
3 or 4-ish.
3 or 4-ish.
4-ish, 3-ish, I think 3.
Mm-hmm. And
let's get onto that first one, though.
Yeah, this one comes from, I think this one comes from Stuart.
He's a viewer. He's a regular viewer.
That's a regular viewer.
So let's go ahead and take a listen to that.
Yeah, I was wondering if, the sharpshooter for Killzone 3 was, really worth it.
Short answer, no. Long answer, no. I mean, it very well may be the best first-person shooter motion control scheme. The only thing it really has to compare with, though, is, Metroid Prime 3.
Yeah.
I mean, that was good, but, literally being the best out of 2 is not that huge an achievement in the scheme of things.
I would agree.
Honestly, even more important than that, though, is just that the PlayStation Move set is already pretty expensive, and then you have to add the extra sharpshooter onto that. Why doesn't it just support the navigation controller? Why do they have to make you buy the gun?
No telling.
I mean, even Nintendo, when Nintendo did the stupid Wii Zapper thing, at the very least, it was just a plastic shell.
Yeah, and it was cheap. It was like $10, not even. Close to it.
I think it was more, actually. I think it was 15, but
15.
still. And it also came with a game. It came with a game.
Still, yeah, exactly.
It came with a little minigame.
It came with a game. Moving on.
Yeah, so no, not worth it. I'm not a dual stick guy. Yeah. I hate playing with dual sticks. If I'm going to play a shooter, the only way that I can play is mouse and keyboard. But that said,
I can dual stick.
Yeah, Mark can dual stick. But that said, I would take dual stick.
I like mouse and keyboard
over shelling out the money for a sharpshooter.
Of course.
Not worth it. Especially, I mean, Killzone 3 is apparently good. It's not.
It's good enough. It's good enough on its own. It doesn't need all these add-ons.
It's not good enough to warrant spending an extra $80
all
on
that extra bucks. Okay. Got another email from someone I know, Tom Minicus. Voicemail. Email.
something similar to that.
Something similar to that. Let's go ahead and play it.
For one, I have to say that's the best voicemail I've ever heard. And I know you guys did a whole bunch of indie game stuff, but I'd really like to see that again, because I have a lot more, what's out there, what's going on with the indie games and stuff like that.
Well, Tom, it's funny you should mention that, because, of course, we intend to cover a lot more indie stuff this season on the Geek Bowl, just like last season, but, Mark, don't you have something for us today?
I do, but first I want to say this. I'm actually becoming very impressed with the echelon of video games that are just in that tier of quality in the indie scene. It's really starting to replace what I'm expecting out of the mainstream
games. Oh yeah, well no, the thing about it is digital distribution makes all of it feasible.
It does. And speaking of indie games, I found one a while back. No, I don't want to say a while back. It was like a week ago, and I'm thoroughly taken. I am smitten.
You're like
truly smitten.
Mark. You're like the Windows file transfer dialogue.
Yes.
You know, a while back. I mean, a week ago. I mean, 15 seconds ago. I mean, 3 days ago.
Yeah. This game, if you're a MechWarrior fan, look out. You might want to keep your eyes on Hawken from Adhesive Games. It's a little game company, an independent game company of 9 developers. That's
developers. Game company I like.
Making what appears to be the crispest, the cleanest, the most amazing, unique, polished mech combat game ever. Hands down.
That's a lot of adjectives, Mark.
I mean every single one of them. We have a roughly 2-minute trailer that we'd like to show you.
Well, that looks pretty cool, Mark.
It does. I'm so surprised that something like this came out as quick as it did. I actually emailed Adhesive Games and hoping to get a copy of a closed beta. Haven't responded to me yet.
Far-fetched, but hey.
Far-fetched, but definitely
if we can cover it, we'll cover it.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm definitely going to be doing more coverage of Hawken. It's much more than one episode's worth of coverage. Moving on, we got Portal stuff.
Yeah, no, voicemail comes later.
Yeah.
No, we Portal 2, that's coming out in a few days.
A few days.
A day.
Yeah.
It's coming out
in a day.
Yeah.
It is in a day.
I don't have any money, and it makes me sad because I really want this game.
Well, tell me some of the things that are important about.
Before I say that, I just do want to mention, back when the first Portal trailer originally came out, before anyone knew what it was, it was going to be as good as it was going to be. No one really knew anything about it at the time. And I mean, it was made by Valve, and I'm sure that made some people excited because Valve makes good stuff. But most of the people I knew were like, no, I haven't heard of this. And I see this trailer released with relatively little fanfare, and I'm like, it's going to be the best game ever. And it came out, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
It was short, but it was amazing. It was amazing, and, the shortness is lessened by the fact that it came in the orange box, which is still probably, the best deal in gaming history.
Yeah.
That's not secondhand from a retailer,
Yeah.
Best value.
I bought it.
Aside from the orange box, there's like the Metroid Prime Trilogy set, and that's pretty much it. Those two things are probably the best gaming collection deals in recent memory. Yeah. Anyway, Portal 2. It's a fully sized sequel to the original Portal, and of course it's looking fantastic. The writing sounds like it's going to be about as spot on as ever. A few new characters in the mix. The game actually takes place 1,000 years later than Portal 1, and the world has fallen to ruin completely, mostly due to Aperture Science's meddling. I actually have to wonder, since canonically that's in the Half-Life universe, I wonder if this is going to give us hints about Half-Life 3.
I'm hoping. Gabe, please get on the ball with
hey, who knows? Maybe that's why they haven't announced it yet, because this is going to have hints about it.
That's
kind of the pipe dream.
It is
fantasy of best possible outcome of that. But either way,
shared amongst most gamers, most certainly. Let's only hope it will be worth it if Half-Life 3 is alluded to through
even. I'm going to say right here, even if it's not, though, Portal 2 is going to be
even on its own. Yeah, still,
ride, yeah.
Still.
Chell, the character from the first Portal, is still your player character in Portal 2, and she's been in stasis for this entire time. And one of GLaDOS's now rogue little personality spheres, you encountered a few of them in the first game near the end boss, is trying to, break you out and help you. Help you break out, and also you will help him break out as a result.
Right, it's kind of...
And he's kind of the anti-GLaDOS, whereas GLaDOS is neurotic and specific. Wheatley is his name. He's kind of a little dry and just kind of... he's unkempt seeming. At one point very early in the game, you wake up from your stasis chamber and he's, dragging it through a giant warehouse full of stasis chambers and trying to get it out into the main Aperture Science building. When he can't open the gate to bring you through, he says, I think we're going to have to do a manual override, and he slams your entire chamber through the door.
Yeah.
There's also going to be a fully separate 2-player co-op campaign, which I'm psyched for.
Can't wait for.
I can't wait to see what kind of mind-bending stuff they think up with 4 portals.
I know.
And you play as 2 Aperture Science-built testing robots, and we really don't have any idea about what the story about it's going to be.
No.
There is a story, though.
Yeah, that's all that Valve has released at this
And it's a completely, fully separate campaign designed for co-op.
So basically, with Portal 2, you're getting 2 games for the price of 1. That you can play with your friends.
One of them. One out of the 2.
Well, one of them. One of your friends, if you have any.
One of the new characters introduced in the single-player campaign and possibly the multiplayer campaign is the actual founder of Aperture Science, Cave Johnson. Who is, he's voiced by J.K. Simmons, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Who's, what's...
famous for J. Jonah Jameson in Spider-Man, and... what was his name? Killinger in Oz.
And he did those farmers insurance commercials too.
He's doing them still. There's still new commercials coming out. Yeah.
So I can't remember who's voicing Wheatley either, but he's known for doing a lot of roles with Ricky Gervais.
Eddie Izzard?
No.
Not Eddie Izzard.
No.
Okay. I figured I'd throw that out there, seeing as how he's British.
I don't actually remember. Who's voicing Wheatley, but he's they're getting some really good talent in there. Yeah. And of course, the original GLaDOS voice actress returns, and sounds like she's going to be as good as ever. Of course.
Of course.
So yeah, that comes out tomorrow, and I'm not going to have the money to buy it.
Well, hopefully something good will happen, and we'll all be able to have a big old Portal party.
I'm only boudin because I missed the pre-order bonuses.
Portal party. Yeah.
No big deal in the scheme of things.
Got another voicemail question.
We do have one other voicemail question.
And this one is kind of an interesting question that brings into play the politics of internet content.
So let's just go ahead and let it speak for himself.
Absolutely. Let's roll it.
Hey, what is your opinion on internet censorship in Australia? And do you think that maybe sometime in the near future that would end up happening in the U.S.? Please answer this question for me. Thank you.
You know, in comparing the art of censorship, which I do consider it an art, with the United States, I really don't see that happening. We have way too much on television that would have to be censored much more beforehand for the internet to follow its lead. In that respect, also in the gaming
the internet
industry,
is usually less censored than television, and television is so barely censored nowadays that I can't see it happening to the internet first.
Exactly. Yeah. No. It would definitely have to be
anyway.
led by television being fully overhauled in its censor ratings. And speaking on that, the gaming industry right now is so entrenched in corporate promotion that
none of the the United States is such a corporate place anyway that none of the major corporate interests are going to fly with censoring violent or sexual content because it's what sells.
It is. It's exactly what sells.
Either way, though, I'm pretty sure we're safe from that here.
At least for now.
At least for now. I mean, our internet isn't even government regulated. None of our ratings boards. No, I mean, well, really, the internet's not going to have a ratings board anyway. But censorship. None of the censoring organizations in the U.S. are actually government regulated.
No, they're not. And they're not even departments.
They're just big recognized organizations that are able to put pressure, but they're not actually government regulated.
No,
so I'm doubting that we're going to see, and so certainly our ISPs aren't government regulated in that way. So I don't think we're going to see that type of censorship here.
Right. I seriously doubt it. Well, that pretty much does it for the
voicemails today.
So that's it for voicemails. And we
got a few more things we want to talk about. Quick.
Well, we got one more big thing that we want to talk about.
Let's save that for just a sec. I wanted to go over a couple things.
Okay, go ahead.
As you know, we did our big 3DS stuff last week. Mm-hmm. And now we're starting to, catch more glimpses of games coming down the pipeline. And Nintendo's gearing up for the release of Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D, which is a update to the Zelda game that everybody knows. I'd say the one thing about Zelda that's aged the worst is the graphics.
Yeah.
The graphics in Ocarina of Time have aged pretty terribly.
Well, guess what, folks? It gets better.
Of course, the graphics have been given a nice overhaul.
Mm-hmm.
Good thing because it's a 3DS, and it would be kind of useless to show off the 3D stuff without nice graphics.
And they definitely added a depth of field, which is what I'm most impressed about.
Yeah, it delivers in space. Hey, remember the castle towns where they were just bitmaps with you running on top? They're actually there, and the town actually feels lively now. It actually fits the music.
Good.
Probably a change I'm even more excited about is just the fact that the inventory is now all touchscreen based, and so I don't have to go into the menu to equip and unequip the iron boots. The water temple's gonna get so much better.
Yes.
Actually, you know what's kind of funny is that I actually don't even think the water temple is really as bad as a lot of people say it is.
I do.
But at the same time, the main thing is just how crappy putting on and off the iron boots are.
Well, that was the main reason people thought that.
Yeah, and so
moving on to, I guess you got that one done.
This is our last thing for today.
You got the last thing. Big thing, ladies and gentlemen, get out your pickaxes, get out your wood blocks, go punch a tree. We got a Minecraft update. We got a big Minecraft update.
For those of you not quite as in the know, we're big fans of Minecraft here at the Geek Bowl.
Big fans of Minecraft.
The final milestone release, which, the final release isn't such a big thing for Minecraft considering they've sold like 1.5 million copies now. Yeah. So it's but it's basically there. Well, we've done it. Most of the bugs are out of the way, and et cetera, et cetera. And that will be on 11/11/2011, November 11th, which is the other date for a few other games and movies, and not the least of which including the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, something that Mark's really excited for. the official tagline, or the unofficial official tagline for it is "Us Too."
Us too, yeah.
Which actually Notch has even mentioned that, since Skyrim comes out on that day, that will be his reward for getting it done in time.
Yeah. But speaking on 1.5 that's coming out this week, there's some new things that are coming out, some new features. We've
Comprehensive stat logging and achievements,
which is great because for our server, we've been trying to get stats and achievements.
Yeah, me and
done
Mark, along with our good pals over at the Layabouts, www.wearethelayabouts.com. We run a Minecraft server on there, and if you ever want to go play with us, it's mine.wearethelayabouts.com.
That's an official plug. We're public now.
So
features, stats and achievements.
Stats and achievements. We have been trying to implement our own custom stats and achievements on our server for the longest time, and it was just
full of bugs and such a headache.
Minecraft, the stats and achievements are now going to just be global, so it's not we're not going to have a special one for our server, but at the same time, it works out for the best.
Hopefully one of these days, Notch will get it in his head that stats and achievements shouldn't be something that's just pre-programmed, something that we can actually go and
access
with and
hook into for our
that would be awesome.
What really needs to happen is that the official Minecraft mod API needs to happen, which is not going to be for a while, but it is going to be at some point because Notch and them were talking to the team over at Bucket and whatever.
Yeah. And we had a collaboration
until there's
of about 80 achievements.
Until there's
couldn't do it.
Until there's an official mod API, we'll just have to sit and wait. But still, comprehensive stats, comprehensive achievements, that's cool.
Weather, I'm happy about.
Resuming first weather effect since Classic, but even then the Classic was just a toggle thing and it was just aesthetic.
Yeah.
This rain will actually fill little pools of water. Snow will coat the ground with snow again.
Lightning and thunder.
Lightning and thunder during storms. If a pig gets hit with the lightning, this is my favorite part. Yeah. If a pig gets hit with the lightning, it turns into a zombie pigman, which is an enemy from the Nether, which is kind of a hell world.
Weird, because what's a regular pigman?
Where's the regular pigman? I mean, there's been a regular pigman sort of halfway in the game for ages, and we've never seen a regular pigman. We've only seen zombified pigmen.
It's like a what is that? A shiny.
Notch actually intended to, and he I think he still does intend to have occasionally generated. There will be like little tribal pigman villages.
Yeah, I think that's where he's going.
Yeah, that are really rare, and it just hasn't happened yet.
This hasn't happened yet. Another great feature that we should be expecting in the 1.5 release is powered rails.
Oh, thank God!
Finally.
Finally. The rails were the Minecraft rails have been always kind of under featured. Like they've never lived up to their potential, and some mods make them live up to their potential, but not in the way that I'd like them to. But they're introducing that, and 1.5 is going to be out next week.
This week. This week, rather.
We think. It was going to be last week.
Yeah, that's right. It was going to be last week, but now.
But then they delayed it to add powered rails and zombie pigmen, which is worth it. But.
And they took pistons out. It was supposed to come out in 1.5, and then they took it out and they said we're going to put it in 1.6 because they just weren't ready. Notch was.
Anyway,
he was
Minecraft. We had done a little bit of this last season, a little bit of a Minecraft diary. Mm-hmm. Or Mark had anyway.
I kind of started on it. We got a little.
We only did 2 episodes of it, but nothing set in stone yet. But we're thinking of doing a new just me and Mark, hardcore survival Minecraft diary, and so we will mention. We'll tell you more about that when that's coming up.
And if we do, they will be webisodes that you can check out on our website www.thegeekbowl.net. I think that's about it.
That about wraps it up. Once again, you can contact us. We got an email, thegeekbowl@gmail.com. We got a voicemail, 818-ASK-GEEK. Twitter, twitter.com/thegeekbowl, @thegeekbowl. And of course our website, www.thegeekbowl.net. Send in your questions and comments, and we'll try to get them answered on the show.
That's right.
You can send in your questions via email and Twitter too. Don't think that you have to use the voicemail.
Right. You don't have to use the voicemail. We'll play them on the air.
All right.
For the Geek Bowl, I'm Mark Henderson,
and I'm Zach Hinchy.
We'll see you next time.
Here, I'll go ahead and give it a little.
You can do the segue intro.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Hi, I'm Zach and I'm Mark.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Zach. Hi, I'm Zach Henchy. And I'm Mark Henderson.
And I'm Mark Henderson.
And we're the geeks in the bowl.
We're the geeks in the bowl.
Now faster.
And then you say the contact is after the voicemail, I say the voicemail, and you say I'm speaking the voicemail. Okay, and then it's 2 and 4, so sharpshooter and 1 and 8. All right, 2.